let's get to your job with Lincoln Christian University, and tell us about that and how you got involved in that, Jessica.
Well, I am the Director of Recruitment and Admissions at Lincoln Christian University for the Adult and Graduate Studies School. And in 2003, my husband and I came to school to be students. We were non-traditional in a very traditional program. So later on, we found out about what is now the Hargrove School of Adult and Graduate Studies, but at that time called Link Up. So we were students first and then transitioned into working at the university as office manager, and over a series of a couple of roles I've had the opportunity now to lead a team, recruiting students and working in the marketing with Chris to be able to let students know about the program and get them either at our Lincoln campus. We have a couple other locations, and even online now. So it's been a great opportunity to be on both sides.
Now that you're a university rather than just a college, does that make a difference in the attraction for adult and graduate students?
I think it certainly helps when a lot of our students have employers who look at the validity of our school, and so it gives them an opportunity to say that they do attend a university. Our accreditation that we have always held, though it's the same as other universities in the area, so they can go to their employer and or church or wherever they're involved in and share with them the opportunity that they have right here in Lincoln, or as I mentioned, online or one of our other locations.
So your adult presence is growing then, would you say? It is.
It's growing drastically. In fact, we started over 100 students between associates level and graduate students, from associates, bachelors, and graduate students. This year, this August alone, we started, I think the final count's 115, so 115 new students, so we're really excited about that.
Do many of them live on campus then? I know you have your married students housing there, and as we get older, we get married, or that's a new word. Feel free to use it.
Many of our adult students actually do commute, either obviously from the Lincoln-Logan County area and surrounding. Our average commuter is 60 to 90 miles, so we do have students that commute from Springfield, Peoria, Decatur, and Champaign, surrounding communities in the area. So we do have a few that live on campus, but our married student housing typically falls under the traditional undergraduate students that are married, or our seminary as well. They both typically fill those apartments pretty quickly.
I bet they do.
Yeah, should anybody have any questions of Jessica, 648-5510 would be the number to call. It's interesting, you mentioned the term online, and what computers are just a fad,
Yes, I've heard that someplace.
That was what was told to Mrs. Busby one time. They're just a fad, they won't last. In any event, I digress again. With the advent of online education, that has been a major factor in a lot of people's lives. And colleges, universities have jumped on that bandwagon, appropriately so. There are some people who physically cannot make it to a campus. This gives them an opportunity. It doesn't make any difference whether they're on campus or whether they get it by online. To get that degree is the goal.
Yes.
You have comments about that, please? And Chris, you feel free to jump in here, too.
Well, I was going to ask Jessa to explain why it is so reasonable for the adult students to travel 60 to 90 miles for a class. And it's something especially unique about our Adult and Graduate Studies program that really is designed to help those busy adults, whether they're busy at home caring for children or if they are working a job and trying to get an education on the side.
Yes, Chris is right. All of our adult students can attend classes one night a week or online. And so the opportunity for them to come to campus at a 60 to 90 mile commute and only come for 3.5 hours, typically about 6 to 9:30, and make that 1 day a week commitment just the same as they would any other meeting or other commitment, they can really find themselves able to balance work and school at the same time, or their home or other opportunities that they have. In addition to that, then, they also take classes in an accelerated format where the classes are 6 weeks in length at the undergraduate level and 7 weeks in length at the graduate level. So the opportunity, again, that they take 3 credit hours, which is typically over a 16, 17-week semester. They can take that in a real short time span. And the opportunities then are endless for them to continue taking classes and even become a full-time student by coming to campus or online 1 day a week, and continuing that journey and finishing as most adults want to finish as quickly as they can. So it's a great opportunity for them to do that.
Those that commute from Champaign or that area, that's the longest 60-mile stretch of highway in the country, that
Really?
I-10 is. And I can tell you from experience, because I used to hitchhike it when I was a kid in school over there. And later on, when I was a kid in the military at Chanute Field, I used to hitchhike that. That's a long 60 miles, I can tell you that. The success of that is going to be nothing but improving as you go along. The numbers will get bigger and bigger. How did this get started on Lincoln Christian University campus?
Actually, what a lot of people don't realize, while the program was officially founded as Link Up, as I mentioned, in 2001, when Earl Hargrove first started Lincoln Bible Institute, he had a desire to have something called a Christian Workers School. And it was designed for adult learners who obviously at that time had jobs or were in the home and needed an opportunity to go to school at the same time. So he started that with few teachers, few funds, as the story goes about Lincoln Bible Institute at the time. But over time, that had to cease to exist just due to funding. And so when actually Bob Montz, the director of the program at the time, started that program in 2001 with other leadership on campus there, they founded that and then had the opportunity to rename the program when we changed to Lincoln Christian University last year to the Hargrove School of Adult and Graduate Studies to represent particularly what was going on at that time back in the mid-40s. With Earl Hargrove.
Kind of interesting that Earl had that vision. That's a long time ago.
Yeah, and way before the online or distance education was even on the surface. So,
do you have a lot of students who participate by computer?
Right now, I think the last estimate was about 25 to 30% of our students are taking at least one class online.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Even the students who live there?
No, most students that are either in the residential campus or in our seminary typically do come to campus. But under the Adult and Graduate Studies School, 25 to 30% are participating at least at some level online.
Mrs. Thomas, excuse me, dear. Go ahead.
I keep interrupting you.
Well, it's half your show, you know.
But now I got so upset I forgot what I was going to say. So you say what you were going to say.
Reflect upon. I was going to ask Mrs. Thomas the enrollment this year. How is it in proportion to a year ago?
It is almost level with our enrollment a year ago.
And that's pretty good in the side of the times.
It is good.
We never want to be satisfied.
In the sign of the times. And, when we get really close to the numbers, we have all the reasons why it's good, even though it sounds like maybe it's not so good. We had a very large graduating class in our School of Undergraduate Studies last year. And we did actually increase the number of new students in that school this year. It just wasn't enough to compensate for all those who finished their degrees a year ago.
Now, your graduates are not necessarily preachers in and of themselves. You have other facets of serving in the ministry. Do you want to comment about that?
Yes, our seminary obviously is mostly graduate level degrees, and that is primarily for those who are already serving in churches or parachurch organizations. Our undergraduate studies school, however, recognizes that we can be Christian servers in whatever job that we partake in. So we have degrees in business, we have degrees in education, we have degrees in what we call intercultural studies, but most people would consider missionary work. In addition to preaching and youth ministry and children and family ministry, last year we introduced a new program for pre-nursing, which is a partnership that we have with OSF St. Francis School of Nursing in Peoria. And then obviously most of the adult and graduate studies students are already employed, and I'll let Jessica tell you more about where her students come from.
Our students come both from churches, parachurch organizations, and then also corporate America, as we have a couple of degrees that are very applicable to, a major organization in Bloomington, Peoria, and the surrounding areas there. But we offer currently 3 master's degrees. One of those is organizational leadership, another in teaching English to speakers of other languages, or TESOL, and then the third is a master's in spiritual formation. So a wide range there at the master's level, but the organizational leadership degree is where we find people that obviously just are Christians working in corporate America or parachurch organizations in leadership, and in some church settings as well, that they want to pursue their education further. At the bachelor's level, we have a bachelor's in Christian ministry, a bachelor's in leadership and management, again another opportunity for leadership within churches or businesses, and then our third is Bachelor's of Arts in Human Services. And again, we find folks that are interested in social work or social agencies that find that very applicable. And then we have a trickling of associate's degrees for students that are just kind of getting started out, associates of arts in general studies, associates of Bible, and associates in early childhood education that has just came on the radar of late. And even for those students who aren't degree seeking, we have a certificate or two that they can pursue as well, to get some knowledge, want to take a class or two, but maybe feel like now's not the right time for them to pursue a degree. So that's another opportunity, all under the Adult and Graduate Studies School.
If I can jump in, I always find it interesting and possibly surprising to some people to know that some of the students in the School of Adult and Graduate Studies actually are working and having their tuition assisted by their employers like State Farm, Caterpillar, State of Illinois.
Is that right? That helps, doesn't it?
Yes.
It sure does.
Sure.
How many professors do you have there?
You know, I don't know if I can tell you how many professors. There are about 140 employees. That includes both faculty and staff, and that would be full-time staff. Of course, we have adjunct faculty who work with us on a part-time basis for specialized coursework.
We're going to take a quick break right now. If Mr. Ash is ready for his commercial.